Okay, well, it's turnover day, and we just got the key to the house. We're so excited. Or should I say, keys to the house. Love you, show them what we got. So let me see this for a second. This is what they gave us for turnover for primary homes. So every lock has a different key. The front door, the back door, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, bathroom 1, bathroom 2. So I think that's 3, 2, 7. So 7 different keys. That's not how we do it in the U.S., right? I worked for Quickset for a while on the door locks. So we will change that. But for now, we've got 7 different keys for a very small, less than 900 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. So, but we are excited that we were able to get the keys today, sign the final paperwork. They did a cute little presentation. And tell us about the presentation today.
Give us the wine.
You give us a bottle of wine,
Yeah.
and then what did they take us through?
I forget.
She forgets. It was just a couple of hours ago. So they just did like a PowerPoint presentation and basically said, this is, I guess there's 100, I think she said 179 homes in Royal Palms Quattro, the subdivision. So that was interesting. She talked about the homeowner dues, that it pays for the pool, the little workout room, which is very small, and the clubhouse, which is quite nice. And it pays for the 24/7 security with the guards. There are either 3 or 4 guards on all the time. So that was a big selling point for us. The rest of it was just kind of general things that you would know or need to know, like 10 p.m. is kind of the noise cutoff. So if you're having karaoke at your home, you need to shut it off by 10 p.m. I'm good with that. I think that's very fair, for everybody. So they said, not to make loud noises like karaoke, but everybody does karaoke. So they actually technically said, don't do karaoke, but this is your own home. Of course you're going to do karaoke. So that was kind of an interesting one. But anyway, they've been very nice in the process. And then we met this afternoon with the site manager here in charge of the construction. We did the walkthrough on the property. There's just a few things that need to be touched up, and but they're going to do that tomorrow and Saturday, so it's pretty much going to be done. Then the work begins for us, So this last week been looking at bed frames, mattresses, wardrobe, appliances. I mean, you get an empty house; it doesn't have anything, so you have to outfit it. So we have a whole bunch of stuff selected. I think the biggest challenge has been the electric, right?
Yeah.
So on the electric, it would have been helpful to know this, but you have to go in person to the electric company. It's called Bohico here. And then you have to get all these endorsement paperwork, this electrical paperwork from the developer. So we had that. So we were expecting to get on the list, and then they need to run the power from this pole right here. So it doesn't run to the house. So as we look, we need a meter like this. So this is the neighbor across the street here. This is what the meter looks like. And then they need to run the wire from this pole to the house. You can see that little black knob up on the top of the house, close to underneath the gutter of the top roof. And then there's electrical there. It's all got to be connected to the pole. Bohico does that. We're being told it's somewhere between 18 and 20,000 pesos to get that done. So just off the top of my head, I'm not doing the math real quickly, but I'm just going to estimate it's about 300 bucks. So here's the thing though. They told us when we got there at the electric company, and it's a different one than we're used to going to as far as the office. They told us that we have to go to a seminar first and complete the seminar. Once we complete the seminar, then they'll talk to us about connecting to the home. And once they do that, it'll be 3 to 7 days for the electric to run to the house. Well, we can't install the aircon, and it's summertime here, right? So April through June is the peak of the summer, and it's warmer. It's a couple degrees warmer. It still doesn't break 89 degrees, but it does hit 88, 89 every day. So we have the house, we have the keys, but we have no electric for another week, which means we had to push out the deliveries on the air conditioning being installed and appliances being delivered and all of that until we have power. But it gives us time to get the place ready, pick out the things that we need, like the beds and the couches and the kitchen table and the chairs for the kitchen table, and then make sure it's all a coordinated style so it all looks good together. So we'll just make the best of it. Well, we're another week away before really being able to use it. After the aircon's in and the bed shows up, technically we could move in. So let's take a quick look. I'll show you what it looks like inside as for the final turnover. Here we go.
I open for you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome to our new home.
So here's it is all cleaned up and looks much better. There's a couple things you're going to notice. So the first thing is, as we kind of come into the kitchen, is that on the lights, they just give us these sockets. So there's 1, 2 sockets for the kitchen. That's not going to fly. We want to do some customization to that. So some LED lights. We've got a couple ideas. Same thing in the living room. They just kind of right smack in the middle of the room, 1 and 2. So that's something we'll have to work through, is getting the place lit, because that's, at night, that's all we have. This will be the wall for the TV. So nice big wall for that. That's going to work out. We're going to have kind of a custom design for this, and the TV will be attached to that. And then we're planning to get kind of like a love seat and a couch for this space so that it looks across where the TV, and then this is where the dining room table will go. And we're actually, once we pull all this out in the next 3 weeks, we're going to put an island right here in the middle with all custom cabinets. And then hopefully, between the kitchen designer and myself, we can figure out how to kind of do a soffit system in here and then be able to put in LED lights. So got a couple ideas on that. We did have them pull out this particular cabinet that comes with all the bedrooms. So in the 3 bedrooms, they all come with this wardrobe thing. It's just pressed wood. It looks okay, but it's not super functional inside. So there's no, shelving. You're kind of stacking. And so we're going to do something different for the master. We're going to keep this one here and the guest room. So I like this room. That guest room's actually a pretty nice room. It's late in the day. It's about 5:30 p.m. It gets dark here at 6. So apologize for the low light, but the workers were still working. Here's the bathroom. And they did fix the drain issues for us, so we're happy about that. The water is on. Actually, we've got much, much better water pressure here than we do in the rental in the same complex Royal Palms Quattro. Here's this one. So it's a 2 valve system, so it goes up here to the sprayer. We'll change that and put also a overhead spray shower type thing, and then keep that wand. Have to do a special valve thing for that, but we will pull that off. So they got the bathrooms in order. So we come into the master, a little bit bigger than the other bedrooms. And then they did take out this cabinet. So they'll come back tomorrow on Saturday and then sand and paint this. But this really opens up the room, and now we can do a wardrobe with like drawers and shelves and really make the most of it. There's not a lot of space in this house. So you really got to maximize the few places that you have. This is the master bath. And same thing here, same type of shower mechanism. And there's the faucet. So, super happy with the water pressure since it's so much better than what we have now. So that's good news. And then my office, I had them pull out the cabinet. It opened up this room quite a bit. And so this will make it much better for my little studio and make these videos and edit and all of that. So, and then I had them fix this wall, this far wall, because it had that cabinet and you could see the glue lines. They actually glued the cabinet to the wall. It's kind of interesting. I don't know that you needed to do that, but they painted this for me. It looks much better. It's important because that's going to be my backdrop. And I need it white in order to light it. So that's what it looks like on the inside. Another view of the living room, starting with the front door. Again, there's the L-shaped space for the couches. That's where the kitchen table will go on the other side. That's where the TV will go. And it's very straightforward. It's all we need. There's just the two of us. So looking on the outside, there was a couple of things like here you can kind of still see where they've patched up some of the concrete from the cracks. They need to sand it out and then make it all uniform. So this needs to all be done, and they said they would do that tomorrow. Hopefully the camera's picking this up because you really got to get the light in the right place to see it. This wall out here on the side of the house is the same way. I think we'll see that even more here on top. Yeah, you see how like they repaired the wall there, but it's all almost looks like not perfectly smooth, like almost like bubbles in it. It's just the waviness of the concrete, but they need to repair and sand all that down and make it all uniform. So they're going to do that tomorrow. We talked to the painter and they said that they'd fix it. So that'll be the final kind of touch up. I like the two-tone look of the house. They're all like this, the whole complex, which is a little unusual, but it's very uniform. And I actually personally like it being uniform within reason, right? So we're used to kind of like you have an HOA with certain colors you can paint your house. You got a little more variety, but here they control all of that. This is one of the air conditioning holes that they covered, temporarily. I'm gonna have the contractor seal it off with concrete, put some block in there and all that, and finish it off. We'll do split air con. This is the vent pipe right here. You see that? So instead of coming out of the roof, they go up to just, above the ceiling level and then vent that way. That's a little different. This is the soffits that are above. And I told the site manager today, I laughed because I said, you don't have any light bulbs up there for me. And I don't have a ladder that's going to reach up there. I mean, it's not like there's a Home Depot down the street. You're in the Philippines. There is a lot more home improvement places than I ever would have thought, but, it's a little bit more of a challenge. Anyway, they're going to put in the light bulbs for me. Oh, here's the back of the house. And we should be receiving a quote here pretty soon about paving all of this with concrete, putting up a wall and actually a roof to protect it. So we can then put the washing machine here. We've got the water and electric, which we're going to need. This is actually a rain barrel coming from just the top part of this side of the house. The water's actually directed through the rain gutters down to the rain barrel, you can see here. My only concern there is that, this house has been sitting here 3 years. It's been collecting rain for 3 years. Can you imagine what it looks like inside the barrel? So we're going to have to figure out what's the right thing, whether it's bleach or whatever. And then I asked the site manager to unstick this because I need to be able to pour the bleach in it. They just painted over it, which painted it shut, right? But we've got the power here, all right, and then we've got the water, we got the drain, so we should be able to do the washing machine out here, but we're going to need to cover it. I think I just want to drain this thing. Just get the water out of it. I mean, it's been collecting for a couple of years, so I think I'm just going to let that thing drain out. I think that's probably the right decision. The water should make it to this drain. There it goes. That way at least we can start fresh, right? Here's one of the wardrobe cabinets that we had them take out. Since it's pressed wood, as you can see, we're afraid it's going to get, break apart out here. So we're just going to stick it in the guest room for now till we have it ready. We're thinking about using it once they put concrete down here, even outside the kitchen door here, has a concrete pad and then a concrete wall here. We can, if there's a roof, we can stick these outside for storage. Maybe a line here in the back of the house. I'm draining out the rain stuff. Just
Yeah, but this one, I want them to.
yeah. So let's just let it drain out so it, yeah. It can be fresh and we'll start over. So here's the other wardrobe. So if we cover the back, so we'd have a concrete pad in the back and then also right here. So outside the kitchen door, all this dirt area would be concrete. We'll save the front of the house here to be like flower beds. And then we'll do a driveway here with a wall along the perimeter, which is from the pole going across to this red line on the wall right there. That's where the wall will go, and then we'll do posts and do a carport over the top of that, and then we'll do the pergola up off that wall. So we'll have an outdoor living area. We're kind of thinking we're going to do roof covering all around the house to completely secure it so that nobody can hop that wall to get into the property. That way when we're away, we're traveling, it's completely secure. So yeah, this is the house and it's officially ours. It's kind of exciting. Probably overall an easier process here than maybe in the West. But you do got to make sure that everything is done right. All right, well that's the update for today. Thanks for watching. We're excited. We'll keep you posted as we're picking out furniture and beds and appliances and all that stuff and let you know how we land with the final designs. Okay, you guys, catch you later.